Well, here we are at the American Eagle coach. Right now it's parked outside of the new building, and for the most part when you come to pick this coach up, that'll probably be where it's at. So right now all of our batteries are off. Everything is just the way that it would be if you were coming to take this coach on a trip. So first thing we need to do is open up our battery door, which is right in front of this passenger side axle here. And here is our battery disconnects, and as you can see, both of them are in the off position. We'll go ahead and give both of these a quarter turn. Now they are both on and running. Our chassis disconnect is in the rear of the coach. So we'll go back here and open the hood. And once the hood is open, right down here is where the chassis disconnect is. So we'll go ahead and flip it on as well. Close the hood. And the only other thing we need to do before you're ready to leave off on a trip is just make sure all of our doors are shut. On yours it's pretty easy because you can look down the side and see that all the doors are flush. So if one of them is popped open, I mean, you can clearly see, the doors open. So with yours, just a quick visual. Usually if you want, you can go around and grab the bottom of each door just to make sure that they're all shut. So everything looks good out here. We'll go in the coach now. And once we're in here, alright, so at this second, if we're heading down the road, you can go ahead and fire up the coach. So once the coach is running, we'll go ahead and let it air up, which right now it looks like it's probably going to be aired up for the most part. Sometimes if it's been sitting for a couple days, your needles there, both the front and rear air, they will be down below 75 or so. So you just want to let it idle and let those build up to where they're over the, let's see, the third mark. So once they're over 3/4, you should be fine. So while the coach is idling and warming up here, if we were going to need air conditioning or heat or anything like that, or if we want the refrigerator cold, we'll probably go ahead and fire up the gen. And the colder it is outside, the longer you're going to have to hold the start button, because what it's doing is warming up the glow sensor, or the glow plugs. So there's a little indicator light right here. It's kind of hard to see, but when you're pushing and holding the button, that light flashes, so that way you know that it's warming up the glow plugs and not just doing nothing. So whenever it's done warming up the glow plugs, the light will become solid and it'll try and fire the generator. So other than that, in here we always just want to make sure we're in travel mode on our leveling system. So right now it's on, but we have no alarms or anything, so we're good there. So right now you're pretty well ready for travel. unless of course, you know, we need to turn on heat or air conditioning or anything like that. If you're just traveling, taking a short trip and it's nice outside, there's really not much else we need to do at this point. If we skip ahead and arrive at a campground, this is about what the coach will be like when we're pulling in. So once we get backed into our spot or pulled into the spot, we need to leave the coach running. And the first thing that I would do is go ahead and come over here and hit auto and then air, and what it'll do is level the coach. And right now the coach is already level, so otherwise normally you'll have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, and if it doesn't time out and you're already done running the slides out and everything, then I just go ahead and shut it off. Right here it leveled on air, parked outside the building, so we're ready. I just didn't want to have to wait 5 or 10 minutes for that to level the coach, so I've already done that. So right now we are ready to run the slides out. We need to make sure the slides are clear of the chairs, so the passenger side is good, the driver's side is good. Other than that, everything else around the slides should already be shut, just because they're in. So in our cabinet right here above the entry door is our slide switches. And again, the coach is still running, the generator is on. With this coach, the engine needs to be running for these slides to operate, because while the slides are operating, the motor is charging the chassis batteries that these work off of. So we'll go ahead and extend the driver's side, the big slide, and I just press and hold the button until that I see it's all the way out. Our TV just kicked on. And that's all the way out. Now we'll go ahead and run the passenger slide. It is now all the way out. So the last slide is back here in the bedroom, and our switch for it is right here on the wall. I'll go ahead and run this one out. And since we turned the generator on, as you can see, TV's going. A lot of this stuff I've tried to leave set up so that when you get in, it makes it simple for you to get everything going. So now that our slides are out and the coach is level, if you choose to, up here in our other cabinet, we have our awning switch. So if you choose to, you can go ahead and extend this one. Which I'm not gonna do right now because we have a camper park next to us. But if you wanted to, you could go ahead and run your awning out. If it's going to be raining, or if you're going to be away from the coach, or if it's windy out, we need to make sure that we have our awning retracted all the way in. It does have a wind sensor, but I would tend to know that, I mean, if it's going to be windy, you need to have the awning in. So while we're at the systems panel here, I was just thinking about what we need to do here. So the next thing is you have your thermostat, which you and I have already set up. Right now it's on furnace, so we should be good there, showing that it's 46 in here. We have it set at 70. The AquaHot is in electric mode, so that anytime you're plugged in or the generator is running, it automatically comes on electric. If you need the heat on or hot water fast, you can go ahead and run the diesel burner as well. You can also run the diesel burner if you're going down the road and don't need the generator running. So the diesel is only 12 volt and it doesn't use a whole lot of fuel. But if you're running the generator or plugged in at the campground, you might as well just use electric. So, and you can have all three of these on at once. If you're getting ready to leave a campground and it's really cold outside, or if you're coming up here to pick it up, you can always leave the engine preheat in the on position, so that way it'll warm that up. In order for that to work, we've got to have the generator on or the AquaHot set to diesel burner. So other than that, up here there's really not a whole lot of anything we need to do as far as setting up goes. Our floor heaters are currently turned on both of those, and they're set at 70, and both of them show the individual temperatures for the front and rear of the floor heating. Up there's our monitor panel, and again, you just push and hold those to check the tank levels, and of course we have fresh gray and black up there. Other than that, as far as just camping goes, there's nothing else we really need to do in here. Where you're camping, if you're not watching satellite TV, park cable, you can watch regular air TV, and to watch that, which I don't know why it would ever be not pushed in, but to watch that you'll need to make sure this little green indicator light's on and that's on. That is your 12 volt power to the antenna head, and if it is not on, we will not get any channels. So I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough here. I'm really not sure of anything else in here we would need to do as far as using it for camping. Of course, when you're in here, we'll have lights on and everything, but as far as setup goes, none of that is needed at the second. So now we'll go ahead and go outside. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the coach. Generator is still on. Obviously, if you're at a campground, we're going to be plugging in. So again, our awnings, if you would have chose to have those out, you can run your awnings out. But if it's raining, windy, or anything else, or if you're going to be gone from the coach for a while, we need to make sure that those awnings are in. So we'll go ahead and go over here to where our hookups are. So back here is our water compartment. And what we would need to do out here is hook in our city water connection. So basically, when we get to the campground, I don't know if you'll keep your hose in this compartment or a different one, but basically we need to take our regulator off of the city water here. That's just where they keep it until you're ready to use it next. So this just unthreads out of here. That'll go on your spigot. Once it's on the spigot, you'll then use your fresh water hose off of this from the spigot and hook your hose right in here to the city water. Once you've done that, we can go inside and open the faucets, get all the air out of the lines, and we'll be ready to use your water. Your sewer connection is right here. And of course, I believe you guys got a new hose, but we'll take the cap off, hook your hose to it, and once your hose is hooked to it, it goes right out this hole right here and feeds underneath the coach and goes down into the drain hole. So once we're done with that, if we were ready to dump the tanks, we always want to dump our black water first and then follow it with the gray water. The gray water will rinse out the hose, and again, black water is toilet water, gray water is sink and shower. We want to leave our black valve shut until the tank is full, or if we're only out camping for a couple days, obviously it's better to dump the tank than to just leave it in there. But the gray water you can leave open all the time at a campsite if you're hooked to sewer, just because you're going to be going through a lot more of that water and there shouldn't be any waste in it. So with that being said, if we did need to dump the black water and our gray valve has been open the whole time, you can close the gray valve, go inside, run a sink, and get some water in there so that when we do dump our black tank, you will have water in the system to flush it out with. Other than that, both of these tanks will be closed for the most part, and most of the trips we've talked about you taking probably end up dumping the tanks when you get back. So, but if you are at a campground, it's no big deal to hook up the sewer hose and drain the tanks. Other than that, out here, that's really about all we need to do as far as setup goes. We'll go to the back here, and I don't have the key on me, but back here about eye level is where your power cord is, and the power cord reel is electric. So once this door is open, we'll just need to run the cord in or out and plug her in, and that's about it as far as setup goes. In the next video, I will go inside and out, front to back, and go over everything with you. But in this one, as far as going somewhere, setting up, I mean, that's about it. Of course, there's always going to be variables, but as far as just going somewhere, setting up for a couple days, that's about all we need to do. And then, of course, once we're ready to go, it's just going to be reverse. Trying to think if there's anything else that we could do or that we need to do when we're camping. I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough just to check myself here. I don't know of anything else. So what we just went over, you should be set up and ready to use it. Well, I think that's it for this one. On the next video, we'll go over everything front to back, inside and out, that we didn't discuss in this one, just in case something comes up that you may have a question on. All right.